Ready to expand your pepper plant collection or share your passion with fellow gardening enthusiasts? These 5 unexpected propagation methods make it easier than ever to grow new pepper plants. While most gardeners stick to traditional seed starting or taking standard stem cuttings, there's a whole world of unconventional techniques that can revolutionize your approach to pepper propagation. These methods aren't just novelties, they're practical, effective ways to multiply your favorite pepper varieties while discovering new dimensions of plant biology. Pepper propagation opens doors to preserving heirloom varieties, creating backup plants for your prized specimens, and sharing your gardening passion with others. Whether you're a beginner looking to expand your skills or an experienced gardener seeking fresh challenges, these 5 unexpected methods will, really transform how you think about growing peppers. Each technique offers unique advantages, from faster establishment to higher success rates, and honestly, some can even help you create entirely new varieties. Air layering represents one of the most fascinating and reliable methods for pepper propagation, yet it remains, surprisingly, underutilized by home gardeners. So this technique involves encouraging a branch to develop roots while it's still attached to the parent plant, creating a foolproof method that honestly, virtually guarantees success. The science behind air layering is, well, elegantly simple. By creating a wound on a healthy branch and providing the right conditions, you stimulate the plant's natural healing response, which includes root development. To begin air layering on your pepper plant, you'll want to select a healthy mature branch that's at least pencil thick and showing vigorous growth. The ideal timing is during the growing season when the plant is actively producing new cells. Make a shallow cut about 1/3 of the way through the branch, roughly 6 to 8 inches from the tip. This wound creates the stress response necessary for root formation. Remove any leaves from a 2-inch section around the cut, then dust the wound with rooting hormone if available, though it's not strictly necessary for peppers. The magic happens when you wrap the wounded area with moist sphagnum moss, creating a perfect microenvironment for root development. Now go ahead and secure the moss with plastic wrap, making sure it stays consistently moist but not, waterlogged. The key to success here really lies in maintaining proper moisture levels. If it's too dry, roots just won't form, but if it's too wet, you'll end up encouraging rot. Within about 4 to 6 weeks, you'll start to see white roots emerging through the moss. Once the root system is well established, just cut the branch below those new roots and pot your new plant. This method is particularly valuable for preserving the exact characteristics of special varieties, as you're essentially cloning the parent plant. Harnessing the magic of leaf cuttings. Leaf cutting propagation, really pushes the boundaries of what many gardeners believe possible with pepper plants. While this method requires more patience and specific conditions than traditional approaches, it offers the remarkable advantage of potentially producing multiple new plants from a single leaf. The process taps into the pepper plant's regenerative capabilities, demonstrating the incredible resilience built into these remarkable plants. It's truly fascinating how nature equips these plants with such amazing powers of recovery and growth. Success with leaf cuttings depends heavily on selecting the right material and creating optimal conditions. It's important to choose healthy, mature leaves from vigorous plants, preferably during the active growing season, when the plant's energy levels are highest. This selection process is crucial for ensuring the best possible outcome. The leaves should be fully developed but not old or yellowing. Using a clean, sharp knife, cut the leaf with about 1 inch of petiole attached. This stem section contains the concentrated growth hormones necessary for root development. Paying attention to these details can make all the difference in your propagation efforts. Preparation is, really crucial for leaf cutting success. Allow the cut end to dry for several hours so it can form a callus that helps prevent rot. Next, plant the petiole in a well-draining propagation mix, burying it about half an inch deep with the leaf blade just resting on the soil surface. The growing environment becomes honestly pretty critical at this stage, so make sure to maintain temperatures between 70 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit, with high humidity but also excellent air circulation. A humidity dome or plastic covering helps, but make sure there's enough ventilation to prevent any fungal issues. The waiting period really tests your patience, as leaf cuttings can take anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks to show signs of new growth. During this time, just remember to mist the leaves regularly, but avoid overwatering the soil. Eventually, you'll start to notice tiny plantlets emerging from the base of the leaf or along the petiole. These can be carefully separated and potted individually once they've developed their own root systems. While not every leaf cutting will succeed, this method allows you to create multiple plants from a single parent with minimal impact on the original plant. It's really quite fascinating. Let's dive into exploring the potential of root cuttings. Root cutting propagation represents perhaps the most counterintuitive method for pepper enthusiasts, as it involves working with the hidden portion of the plant that most gardeners rarely consider. It's like uncovering a secret garden beneath the surface. This technique leverages the pepper plant's ability to generate new shoots from root tissue, creating an entirely new plant from what might seem like discarded material. It's amazing how nature finds a way to regenerate and thrive. This method proves particularly valuable when you need to divide overcrowded plants or, when transplanting gives you access to healthy root systems. The process begins with carefully exposing the root system of a healthy, established pepper plant. This might happen naturally during transplanting, or it can be done on purpose by gently excavating around the plant's base. Look for healthy, white or cream-colored roots that are at least as thick as a pencil and show no signs of disease or damage. These thicker roots, they contain the energy reserves and dormant buds needed for successful propagation. So, you'll want to cut root sections that are about 2 to 4 inches long, and it's important to make clean cuts using sterile tools. This helps prevent any disease from spreading, The orientation really matters here. Be sure to mark the end of the root that was closest to the crown, or the top, of the plant. Roots have polarity, and they'll only generate shoots from the correct end, so don't skip this step. Next, plant these root cuttings horizontally in a well-draining propagation mix, and cover them with roughly half an inch of soil. It's key to keep the growing medium consistently moist, but not waterlogged, since too much moisture can quickly cause root rot. Temperature control becomes crucial for root cutting success, with soil temperatures between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit providing optimal conditions. Bottom heat from a seedling heat mat, it significantly improves success rates. New shoots typically emerge within 3 to 6 weeks, though some varieties may take a bit longer. Once shoots appear and develop their first true leaves, just treat them like any other young pepper plant, gradually acclimating them to normal growing conditions. Tapping into the strength of grafting. Grafting represents the most advanced and honestly potentially rewarding of our unexpected propagation methods, allowing gardeners to combine the best characteristics of different pepper varieties into a single plant. This technique involves joining the top portion or scion of one plant with the root system or rootstock of another. By doing this, you create a symbiotic relationship that can enhance disease resistance, improve yields, or even help plants adapt to challenging growing conditions. The success of pepper grafting really depends on selecting compatible varieties and, honestly, mastering the precise timing and technique needed for a successful union. You'll want to choose a vigorous, disease-resistant variety for your rootstock, while the scion should be your desired variety for fruit production. Both plants should be about the same diameter at the grafting point, usually when they're about 4 to 6 weeks old and showing strong growth. This is really important for a successful graft. The cleft grafting method works exceptionally well for peppers, and honestly, proves relatively straightforward for beginners. You'll want to cut the rootstock plant cleanly about 2 to 3 inches above the soil line. Then just make a vertical cut about an inch deep right down the center of the stem. Now, prepare the scion by cutting it to include 2 to 3 sets of leaves. After that, trim the bottom into a wedge shape so it'll fit snugly into the cleft in the rootstock. The cambium layers, which is the green tissue just under the bark, of both pieces must align for successful grafting. Okay, now secure the graft with grafting tape or rubber bands, making sure there's firm contact between the joint surfaces, but be careful not to use too much pressure since that might damage the delicate tissues. Place the grafted plant in a humid, shaded environment, with temperatures around 75 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The critical period here lasts about 2 to 3 weeks, and during this time, the vascular systems of both plants really need to grow together. Success becomes pretty clear when the scion starts showing new growth, and you can see the graft union looks healed and strong. Maximizing success with water propagation is, honestly, one of the most accessible and visually rewarding methods for pepper enthusiasts. It gives you a clear window into the root development process, all while requiring minimal equipment or expertise. This technique works particularly well for maintaining genetic lines during the off-season, or for gardeners who want to observe the fascinating process of root formation. The transparency of water propagation really makes it an excellent educational tool, and it's also a reliable method for creating backup plants. So, the key to successful water propagation really lies in selecting the right cutting material, and maintaining those optimal water conditions. You'll want to choose healthy, non-flowering shoots from actively growing plants, and cut 4 to 6 inch sections that include at least 3 nodes. Next, remove the lower leaves to prevent rot, but make sure to leave the top 2 to 3 sets of leaves so the cutting can continue photosynthesis. The cutting should be made with a clean, sharp blade. This helps prevent crushing the stem's vascular system. Use clean, preferably filtered water in a clear container which allows light to reach the developing roots while also keeping the stem nice and stable. Be sure to change the water every 2 to 3 days to prevent bacterial buildup and, of course, to ensure adequate oxygen levels. So, adding just a small amount of liquid fertilizer, about 1/4 strength, after the first week can really help support the cutting's energy needs, though honestly, this step isn't strictly necessary for root development. Root formation usually starts within 5 to 10 days, showing up as these small white bumps that slowly grow into fully developed roots. The whole process is surprisingly quick compared to soil-based methods, and being able to watch the progress unfold is, well, especially satisfying for gardeners. Once the roots reach about 1 to 2 inches in length, the cutting can, be transplanted to soil, though some gardeners might prefer to wait until the root system is a bit more extensively developed. These 5 unexpected propagation methods honestly open up new possibilities for every pepper enthusiast. From preserving rare varieties to creating unique combinations through grafting, there's so much you can do. Each technique really offers its own distinct advantages. Air layering gives you nearly guaranteed success. Leaf cuttings help maximize plant numbers from minimal material. Root cuttings let you use otherwise discarded plant parts. Grafting combines desirable traits, and water propagation lets you clearly see the process as it happens. The key to success honestly lies in matching the method to your specific goals and growing conditions.